Hello everybody, my name is Bloody Elevator, and welcome back to Spire Nights. For the last few days, I've been doing my utmost best to heat up our equipment that we currently have for our eventual Shadow Lair boss fight. Once the Arcana that we made was just finished with its last level up, I decided to go and try to roll for a unique variant, or in this case, a couple UV rolls. Until I at least got a medium attack speed increase. For now, that's about as good as we can make it. After that, we grinded enough Radiance from the Dreams and Nightmare mission to fully heat up our Blitz Needle. But as expected, heating up 5-star equipment can get expensive. So with each level up, we're gonna have to pay the rank mission, Dreams and Nightmare, a couple of visits. You can farm Dreams and Nightmares for Radiance because it's kind of faster than farming Firestorm Citadel for Radiance. While the Firestorm Citadel does give you better crowns and is better for heating up your equipment, there just aren't as many prize boxes that can possibly drop Radiance compared to Dreams and Nightmares. As at the end of the Dreams and Nightmare mission, you get lots of prize boxes at the end, allowing you to possibly net quite a bit of Radiance. But the only catch is that the amount of crowns and the amount of heat that you can get for your weapons are a bit lacking. On average, you earn about 10 to 20 plus Radiance per Dreams and Nightmare run, so this is a decent place in order to farm Radiance if you need it. Now, I did make a video on Dreams and Nightmare a while ago, but I feel like I missed some things and we didn't have the right equipment in order to fight it properly. So it just didn't feel right for me to call that one a Radiant farming video on Dreams and Nightmares. This video isn't focused on how to farm Radiance. That is for a different video that'll be coming up later. In the meantime, let's heat up our Chaos Cowl. But seriously though, 100 plus Radiance in order to fully heat up a level 9 5-star weapon really does get expensive over time, so we're gonna have to farm Radiance for quite a while. But it is more affordable than purchasing Radiance from the supply depot for like 700 energy for a 50 pack, as well as purchasing Radiance from the auction house, both of which are kind of expensive and might not be worth it, unless you have the extra energy or crowns in order to afford them. So while I did say that I would farm Dreams and Nightmare for Radiance, constantly doing that over and over would eventually affect my overall interest in this game. So instead, if you can, go as a group to the Firestorm Citadel. Oftentimes there will be other Spire Knights players that are willing to help each other in the Firestorm Citadel, so feel free to ask around and see if you can find some people to help join you in your Firestorm Citadel run. If we really wanted to, we could just farm the Firestorm Citadel solo and keep all the Radiance for ourselves. But the problem is how slow it can feel farming the Firestorm Citadel by yourself. Now if you go with a team, the game will try to compensate for the amount of additional players by buffing the health of the enemies. But even with that, going as a group can make a visit to the Firestorm Citadel much more palatable, as long as everyone has the right equipment, of course. Now, there is the occasional lag spike that you might sometimes experience when playing with others, but normally it isn't that bad. But when it is that bad, the game might start acting like a PowerPoint presentation, and it can sometimes cause you to either temporarily lose control of your character for a really short time, or even worse, the game tries to correct your placement of where it thinks you should be compared to where you think you are on your side of the game. Like for example, this happens to me occasionally where I was about to deal a full blitz charge against the weak point of a Trojan, but then the game decides to move me just slightly to the side, away from the Trojan, causing me to miss the whole blitz charge. And then, as expected, hilarity ensues. Usually I try to farm Dreams and MR solo for a couple of reasons. To minimize the amount of lag, and to give me as much control as possible over the enemies that I'm dealing with, in order to maximize the chance that the various amount of enemies will enter your attacking range, without having them be distracted by another player. But at the very least, it doesn't hurt to have the occasional Firestorm Citadel runs with others, in order to help break the monotony. Sometimes you'll have funny banter amongst each other, while laughing at each other over whose in-game death was probably the most ridiculous. In the video you'll see us chatting with each other in the middle of a battle. You kind of shouldn't be doing this, but I'm only playing Spire Knights in a semi-serious kind of matter, where I still want to grind for Radiance, but I still want to be able to be silly with the others, in order to keep me going. Now the more seasoned players of Spire Knights would probably get mad at us for doing this, as well as not having specific equipment that we might not have, like not having a Electron Vortex or Shiver Mist Buster, or sometimes even accidentally combustor charging some zombies into someone else. Now I play this semi-seriously because if I treat this like work and do it seriously, then I'll wind up losing interest in Spire Knights all over again. And I don't think Spire Knights is really that kind of game where you need razor sharp focus in order to achieve your goals. Honestly, just have fun grinding and enjoy the journey, with others, if possible. So we need at least one more weapon. I'm considering the Electron Vortex, as I have seen other Spire Knights players on YouTube use that on their visit to the Shadow Lair. And we need to craft some trinkets, like the Elite Slash module and the Elite True Shot module, in order to help strengthen our swords and firearms to help our glass cannon build. So there will be some more crafting videos coming up at a later time. So after a couple Dreams and Emmer runs, along with the occasional Firestorm Citadel with friends, we managed to get the Radiance that we needed in order to finally level up our Chaos Cloak. And with that, we managed to finally level up our Chaos Cowl, Chaos Cloak, Swift Strike Buckler, Combustor, Blitz Needle, and lastly, our Arcana. But we are not done yet. As you can see here, we still have some more room for at least one more weapon, and we need some trinkets that can give us the extra help that we need in order to survive the Shadow Lair. If you enjoyed this series, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if possible, share this video. It would really help out the channel. And that's all I have to share with you for now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching.